Have you ever felt like the universe was conspiring against you? Like no matter how hard you try, the world keeps saying, "Not good enough?" Maybe it's a dream you chased that fell apart, or a goal you worked for only to see it slip through your fingers. That crushing weight of failure. It feels personal, doesn't it? Like you're stuck in an endless cycle of falling and never rising. But what if I told you something? What if I told you that every great success story you've ever heard started right there, in the middle of failure, doubt, and despair? What if I told you the difference between those who gave up and those who made it wasn't talent or luck, but something far more powerful? It's persistence, the ability to rise again and again, even when the odds seem impossible, the power to turn rejection into resilience, obstacles into opportunities, and failures into the fuel that drives success. This is not just another story about success. This is your story, your journey from failures to triumphs, and how the power of persistence can transform not only your dreams, but your entire life. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll see failure in a way you never have before. And you'll realize that success isn't just possible, it's inevitable, as long as you refuse to quit. Failure is often seen as the ultimate defeat, a final judgment on our abilities and worth. But this perception couldn't be further from the truth. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is a prerequisite for it. Imagine a young bird attempting to fly for the first time. It stumbles, falls, and flaps clumsily. These failures are not signs of inadequacy, but necessary steps toward mastery. History is filled with stories of individuals who turned their failures into stepping stones. Thomas Edison's journey in creating the light bulb involved over 10,000 failed experiments. Each failure wasn't a dead end, but a discovery, a way that didn't work, bringing him closer to the one that would. This shift in perspective is crucial. Instead of seeing failure as a barrier, view it as a teacher. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? When you redefine failure as growth, you turn setbacks into opportunities to persist and succeed. Success is rarely a singular, explosive moment. Instead, it's a process, a series of small, deliberate steps that accumulate over time. This is the essence of the Japanese philosophy of Kaizen, continuous improvement through consistent effort. A potter does not create a masterpiece in one sitting. It takes countless hours of shaping, refining, and starting over. The same is true for any great achievement. Consider the story of J.K. Rowling, who faced rejection after rejection before finally publishing the Harry Potter series. Her persistence wasn't fueled by immediate results, but by a commitment to the process. She wrote every day, honing her craft, even when the world seemed to shut its doors on her dreams. The process might feel mundane or even discouraging at times, but it's in these quiet, unseen moments that success takes root. Embrace the journey, knowing that each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. At the heart of persistence lies an unshakable belief in oneself. This self-belief is not arrogance, but a quiet, powerful trust in your potential to grow, learn, and achieve. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players in history, was once cut from his high school team. He could have let that rejection define him, but instead, he used it as fuel. He worked tirelessly, honing his skills and believing in his ability to succeed. Self-belief is the force that keeps you going when the odds are stacked against you. It's the voice that says, "I can do this," even when the world says otherwise. Cultivating this belief requires practice. Surround yourself with positivity, remind yourself of past victories, and remember that every great achievement starts with someone daring to believe it's possible. One of the biggest hurdles to persistence is the fear of judgment. We often hesitate to try, not because we doubt ourselves, but because we fear what others will think if we fail. This fear is paralyzing, yet largely unfounded. People are far too consumed by their own lives to focus on yours. Consider Steve Jobs, who faced relentless criticism throughout his career. Many doubted his vision, labeling his ideas as impractical or unrealistic. But he persisted, trusting his instincts and tuning out the noise. Today, his innovations have shaped the world we live in. Fear of judgment is temporary, but regret is permanent. Imagine looking back on your life and wondering, what if I had tried? The freedom to persist lies in letting go of this fear and focusing solely on your purpose. Obstacles are an inevitable part of life, but they are not insurmountable. In fact, they are often the very things that propel us forward. A river flowing through a canyon doesn't see the rocks as barriers. It adapts, carving its path over time. Oprah Winfrey's life is a testament to this. Born into poverty and facing countless hardships, she could have succumbed to her circumstances. Instead, she chose to rise above them, using her struggles as fuel to build an empire that inspires millions. Every challenge you face holds a lesson, a hidden opportunity to grow stronger and more resourceful. When confronted with an obstacle, don't ask, "Why me?" Instead ask, "What is this teaching me?" Persistence is not about avoiding obstacles, but about finding ways to overcome them. Resilience is the backbone of persistence. It's the ability to keep going despite setbacks, to rise every time you fall. Life will knock you down. It's not a question of if, but when. Resilience is what determines whether you stay down or get back up. Nelson Mandela endured 27 years in prison, but emerged with a vision of unity and forgiveness that transformed a nation. His resilience wasn't born from an easy life, but from an unwavering commitment to his purpose. Resilience isn't about being invincible. It's about being unyielding. It's about recognizing that every setback is temporary and every failure is a step closer to success. When you cultivate resilience, you build a foundation that can withstand any storm. Persistence doesn't just change your life, it leaves a legacy. When you persist, you inspire others to do the same. Your story becomes a beacon of hope, a testament to what's possible when you refuse to give up. Think of a teacher who believes in a struggling student or a parent who works tirelessly to provide for their family. Their persistence creates ripples, touching lives in ways they may never fully see. What legacy will you leave behind? Will you be remembered as someone who gave up or someone who kept going despite the odds? Your persistence is not just for you. It's for the people who look up to you, the ones who will find strength in your story. Every act of persistence plants a seed, and those seeds grow into forests of inspiration for generations to come.